Hey, so what up, friends? So I have a bit of a confession. It has been 2 weeks since I have picked up and spun my poi. Now, I know a lot of you out there may have gone through longer dry spells, but it's actually been long enough that I kind of feel like I fell off the horse a little bit. So I wanted to take you with me as I pick up my poi and spin them for the first time in a couple weeks. It's weird that this feels like a hump to me, but like, here we are. Drex here from DrexFactor Poi, sharing with you the love of poi spinning and flow arts to benefit your body and brain. And today, I'm sharing with you my process for getting back into things. Before we dive in, I just want to give a quick shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Flow DNA, Flow Fests, Flow Toys, Juggling Calling, Pyroterra Light Toys, Spinballs, and Ultrapoi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can learn more about all these amazing companies and the work that they're doing to support flow artists like yourself by checking out the links that I've got down in the description of this video. And a special thanks to the first non-business friend of the channel, Johnny Howard. Thanks so much for your support, Johnny. Okay, so it should be said that a big part of the problem here is that it has been so cold in DC these past few weeks. I think it's like 20 degrees out there right now, which if memory serves is something like -5, -6 Celsius. I'll post a correction here if I need to. But yeah, I don't handle cold very well. Somehow the Finnish genes just did not pass down the capacity to deal with cold for me. So it's real hard for me to want to mobilize when it's super cold out. And unfortunately, a lot of my practice, I prefer to do it outside because I like moving around and having a lot of space to work in. So instead, we're just going to have to layer up here. So come with me on that trip. All right, let's grab some layers here. I can feel myself just shriveling up already. Eee! Super absorbent Polar Max underlayer, so very necessary. And by some miracle, I managed not to screw up the mic, so go me. All right, so this next part I am gonna have to do away from your wandering eyes because I have definitely found the utility in using 2 layers of pants, but that means I'm gonna have to take off this pair in order to put on these as an underlayer. So I'll be right back. Cool. And now, see if I can put those other pants on over these. Success! All right, and now a sweater, a hoodie, hat, and gloves, and I should be good to go. So I got this hoodie at this place called Tibetan Gift Exchange in Haight-Ashbury in San Francisco. It is actually much warmer than it looks because it has this warm inside layer of a material whose name I cannot remember right now, and I'll include down at the bottom. But yeah, it's surprisingly warm. The only thing it doesn't do well is like windbreak. I've got another hoodie that I use for that, but this one has a little bit more flexibility to it. It's been with me forever and I absolutely adore it. So it's going to be my hoodie of choice today. All right, mask, gloves, hat, we're ready to roll. All right, and now to my favorite practice spot in the park across the street. Let's go. Should be said, it is not just the cold that I'm worried about, or at least not its impact on me. So lithium-ion batteries are notoriously unreliable when it is below freezing. And I have known my cell phone to stop recording video when it gets really cold on occasion. So we'll see how long the video sticks with me here. How long are you all going to stick with me here? And of course, after all that, I left my poi in the damn apartment. Of course, even the very few minutes that I was outside, I was already noticing a little bit of cold seeping in around my shoulders. See how this goes here. And take 2. Oh Lord, so I can already tell you that I'm going to wish that I had brought better gloves. I had better get active very quickly. Fortunately, it looks like there's still just a hair bit of sunlight left out, which is great because I like practicing in the sun. Let's see if I can catch a little bit of that with the camera, shall we? Well, I should just catch the sunset, which is great news. Yay. So the spot that I usually practice at is tucked right up next to Jessup Blair House. I'm on the north end of DC, literally on the border of Tacoma Park and Silver Spring. And this was apparently a site that was of some strategic importance during the Civil War. They have a whole bunch of plaques around here to read on the topic, which I am embarrassed to admit I've never read, but I will one of these days so I can give you all the history on this at some point. All right, how's that look? Will that work for us for our afternoon flow session? I usually start off by doing a little bit of Tai Chi, so because I'm a sucker for a ritual, that's where we're going to start today. Game on. Gonna stick in some headphones, gonna flow out a little bit, let's see what happens. By some miracle, I am actually sweating under all of this, which is quite lovely. Usually when winter happens, I get real cold for a real long time, so feeling my body warm like this is really nice. All right, I think this will be my last song before I go in. Well, I am not gonna lie, I felt really, really good. That is probably the most active my body's been in a couple weeks, and regardless of how anxious I was about getting back on the horse, that was really, really nice, and it gave me that rush of dopamine and endorphins that flowing out usually does. Huzzah. Now, I do realize that 2 weeks is not that long to have put down a set of poi. There are many of you out there that have put them down for months or even years at a time, but hopefully what you get from this is that coming back to it after all that time feels really good, feels really refreshing. I highly recommend. Thanks for coming with me on this, granted, somewhat quixotic quest. If you got anything out of this video, please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to help other people find it and to help my channel grow. And of course, a huge thank you, because this video would not be possible without all of these nice folks right here. These are my Flow patrons over on Patreon, and they, along with the wonderful people listed down in the description, help to make this video and all the videos on my channel possible. If you would like to help me out on my mission of bringing flow arts and poi spinning to the wider world and helping people connect with their brains and their bodies as creative individuals, you can do that by heading on over to patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi and signing up. There you can get early access to all of my content, as well as a say in what topics I tackle in the future, plus some great extras and behind the scenes content as well. So go check that out, please and thank you. And now that I am thoroughly warm and out of breath, I am gonna go inside, catch up with a friend, and put on a little bit of tea, because I think that that's the point of the evening that I am at. I'm happy to be getting back in the groove, and I'm happy to have shared it with all of you. I'm going to include links to some other flow videos that I've done in the past down in the description, as well as up on screen if you're watching on YouTube. Thanks so much for watching. If it's cold where you are, I'm hoping you have the opportunity to get out and flow like I just did. And if not, well, see what you can make happen in your living room. You'll be glad that you did, trust me. See you on Friday, and have a good one. Peace.